All right, we're back for a little more modding. So let's remind ourselves, we're going to continue the game because I want to see how the late game starts to play out. So we'll get back in. I'm sure we'll almost immediately be going back out. but yeah, one of the first things we need to do. Yes, we have things going on here. Yeah, Turok, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about it. So one of the first things we need to do is we have some unfinished business with this particular spreadsheet, which I'm going to bring up for a second here. Oh, sorry, that other half was not for this moment. But so I've been trying to track our changes here, and once we got into the modding last week, for context, I'll make this small and then I'll make it bigger again. For context, this is the spreadsheet where I'm tracking all of the changes. Yes, Turok, I will be, it's already available in my Discord. So if you want a copy to be able to play with it, the modding is literally copy a file into your last spell directory and you're good to go. So if you're interested in play testing in the meantime, I am excited to have people do that. So we have a thread in the Discord. Let me link the Discord. We have a thread in the Discord where we are already talking about things. We have a balancing thread inside of the Last Spell chat channel, Discord things. So we're talking about kind of the idea of doing it. Illustrious. So the short answer to that question is originally, back in the day, the first version of the hand crossbow. Let me oops. Uh-oh. That's not the thing that I wanted to make a different size. This is the first version of the hand crossbow. It's something like that. That's probably decently readable, right? So the first version of the hand crossbow, Blaze, was multi-hit and propagate. And they work exactly the way you would want and expect them to work. And it is a level of scaling that does not belong in the game. I don't know if other people disagree. I know people are probably like really sad to have seen it gone, but the original version of Blaze was multi-hit. I think it was multi-hit 2, propagate 4, something like that. But by the end of a game, you had a hero that with like 2 AP could clear an entire side. It's absolutely devastating. Issue question: can you still get achievements with these edits? Yes, it does not affect achievements. 6 AP, 10 mana cost. I think it would still be OP. As crazy to say as that is, the issue is that propagate and multi-hit are the 2 best scalers in the game, and they just, I think it would be very delicate, but because you have these 2 things and they scale multiplicatively with one another. I mean, it is true, Kovacs. The Ballista nerf, I'm still excited about the Ballista nerf. I also want to look at traps today. So there's a lot of things going on. But the first thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to go through this spreadsheet, and we'll talk about things as we go. But I want to flag skills that I would like to see change, while at the same time going through the game files and confirming that all of the changes that we have made are in here. So we're going to spend a bit of time wading through the code. Oh, but I wanted to mention this. I found the can rotate option. So I've added can rotate to super spin, which we currently have as this like L-shaped attack, and we'll see if that works. But let's go through and make sure that all the changes that we've made are indeed currently present in the spreadsheet before we go any further. I think that would be useful. If anyone is curious, whoops. There we go. I will paste this into chat so that people can check it out on the fly as we're going through stuff. I will do the same over in Twitch chat. Let's see, hide and dismiss that, hide that. There we go. Okay, so let's go through this. So at the moment, the only changes we made to Stomp is we have changed the range and made it skill modifiable. So I don't like this change, because I like the notion of it being a close range skill. So I think I'm actually going to revert this change for now. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to leave this like this, and then I'm going to use... Oh no, do I not have the ability to color cells here? All right, if I do this, I do. I'm going to color blue for things that I want to come back to and come up with a plan with. My worry about achievements. I wonder, is it a bannable offense? If so, we could find a way to turn it off. I don't believe it is a bannable offense. I don't believe that there's anything like that. Like there's plenty of mods on Nexus Mod and those types of things. So I don't think it's a concern. Yeah, it's a single player game. I don't think they're too worried about it. I wouldn't sweat it too much, Turok. But I understand where you're coming from. But I think this is well within, if anything, if Ishtar were to swing by, I think they would be very excited. I think this is a way to breathe new life into the game and get people excited about it. All right, so the next change that we have here was Axe Boomerang. I do like the change to Axe Boomerang. It's a little wonky at the moment. Right now, we have increased the arc damage. That is true. Yeah, we went from a 1.4 to a 1.8. We have increased the range by 1. That was just to offset the fact that now it goes 1 back. We moved the origin, but that's pretty much it. And we also increased the AP. So we need to add, whoops, 3 AP cost. Okay, that one looks good. Let's head down to Swing, which should be our next one, I presume. Nope, our next one is the sword, the two-hand sword thrust. Yeah, so I think that is because StarCraft 2 is a competitive game, Turok. But Axe Boomerang feels weird. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. The creators of the last spell have also said that they want to add modding to the game. So it would be surprising to me if people jumping the gun with that is a little like there's no reason they would be upset about it. They want to add modding to the game. They know that it will increase the game's longevity. So I think it's probably okay. So let's see. So we have thrust here, which has a propagation count of 1. That is correct. Although this says that it's on thrust. Do I have slash and thrust confused here? 2 AP, 3 uses per turn. The two-handed sword attacks are weird names. Like the second one is called dash attack. The first one is called thrust. For the purposes of confusion, do we have someone with a two-handed sword right now? Let's see. Yeah, it is slash thrust. Yeah, that's very confusing, but that's okay. But yes, this one, slash is the one that we added 3 propagate to, so that's fine. Then we have the two-handed axe. Now, this one I want to revisit a bit. So let's talk about it. If you would like, Turok, before you play, I am happy to go into the Ishtar Discord and ask if they have any issues with people modifying their game. In fact, to that end, a member of our community, but also of the Ishtar community, has been doing challenge runs, and I know that modified game files have been shared on the Ishtar Discord. That's where she got the files to do what was called the no XP run. So that doesn't mean that mods on the Ishtar side saw those files being shared, but I really suspect that it's not a big deal. So let's see. We went with inaccurate 2x and then a half circle in front. This is correct again. I mean, I think long term in Lustrous, what I want more than anything is I want a mod loader feature, right? I want a place where I can go place my own XML files, and if it detects conflicts between my XML and their XML, it replaces it with my XML. But that's going to be a future state type of thing. Now, one thing that was noted here is that this is unfriendly to walls. Do we have someone with a two-handed axe handy? I think we had one in our inventory, but I don't think we do. Terraria's modding API is fantastic. Yes, if they did what Terraria did, I think that would be excellent. I have not written any mods for Terraria, but I know roughly of how they approached it. And I think this game is rife with that, right? Like, I think it would be very easy to write. I mean, I've thought about this as well. I haven't done any changes to the code of the game, but I think it would be relatively easy to change the way that their class loader works. Just go find where they're loading their XML file from their shared assets and add kind of like a preemptive step. So for now, I'm going to leave swing as it is, but the issue with swing that we can't really see right now very easily, let me just swap in a two-handed axe for the moment, is that this particular structure, maybe a 3x3 for the two-handed axe, like double the regular axe. That's interesting, Kovac. For two-handed weapons, instead of adding more damage squares, maybe an extra effect to neighboring squares. Yeah, I do like the extra effects, Turok. I think that could be a good bit of design. So the issue with this is that it makes it very unpleasant to play with walls. So for now, I'm going to leave this, but we need to think a bit on that. Now, the next change that we made all the way down here is Super Spin. So Super Spin is now our first multi-hit melee, not our first multi-hit melee attack, but our first point-blank AoE multi-hit melee attack. It's a mouthful. Let's see. So it is multi-hit by 4. And then it's range 1, rotate. I need to see if the rotation actually works. To make the rotation work, actually, hold on. I think we can figure this out. We're gonna have to test it. I think right now the rotation won't work because the origin is not on the diagonal. But if we put the origin on the diagonal, I think it would look like this, and then it would flip to the right. So we'll have to figure that one out. But I added the can rotate just so we can see if it works. So let's see. So that's it for that one. Speaking of extra effects, how much customization do we have? Can we make our own or just use existing? Pretty much we can use existing right now. We're not modifying the code quite yet. We may get there. I'll need to do some testing offline. So let's see. So we changed Impale. It's no longer a front triangle, but it is damage concentrated damage. I'm just gonna say damage at tip. Yeah, so this, I really like the way Impale is right now, as a side note. And I think that this archetype, I may want to bring over to the crossbow as well. Then we have Triple Swipe, which I do think is 3 rays. It's a little weird, the way that it works right now. Now, I wanted to think about this. So, the old Triple Strike was 1, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one is 1, 2, 3. This is also 9. It's just spread out differently, which I think is fine. So it's 3 rays, 9 tiles. There we go. And then the propagation is the same. Okay, and that's it for the melee attacks. So places where I want to places where I want to change things. By the way, they do provide a little bit of documentation up here. Just so you are aware, Illustrious. It's not super helpful, but it does provide some additional things. Like you can only use something when targets are in range. There's certain conditionals and those sorts of things. So Sword's Blade Rush. I think the sword is I'm relatively happy with the sword. The dagger also feels pretty good. Intimidating Scream is an interesting one. I think it's okay. I don't love Mega Stomp, but I know a lot of people swear by it. I'm gonna highlight it for the moment. Triple Strike needs a revamp. The Haunt will I'll put it on the list. I'm not saying that it's perfect. I do think it's funny though. Let's see. And then I think Sword Blast could use some love. I think it's kind of weird in its current form. But that's all the changes that we've currently made. Now, so the nomenclature, so we're all clear, is if there's text in the right column, that's changes that we have actively made. And then if something is blue, I think it needs some attention. So over here on the short bow. So the short bow has been a topic of much discussion. I still don't know what I want to do with the short bow, but I'm excited to change the short bow. Right now, my thought, and I want some feedback on this. My thought on the short bow is, what if we did like a ranger fantasy type of thing where the short bow is like an arrow for every purpose. You could have like a snare arrow and a debuff arrow and a, fill in the blank, maybe a poison tipped arrow or something like that. And we make it more the kind of like jack of all trades sort of thing. Just throwing it out there, just a thought. Then maybe like a mobility attack, right? It could, I think putting a follow attack on the short bow could be really cool. The other thing, Jason, you described hand crossbow as the short bow. No, I didn't. So Yoba, I think I intentionally think that the hand crossbow has a little too much of that, right? Like right now the hand crossbow has poison and snare here, and then it has propagate, right? Love it if there was a bleed, that would be better. Poison is kind of iffy conceptually. It's very much a starter weapon. Can you change damage based on distance, where short bow does more damage the closer you are? So like a modified proximity shot. Let's see. That the answer is maybe. The way I would figure that out is we would go into here, and I'm sorry that this is hard to see. I'm going to move this over here for a second. So this is the perks skill definition. And unfortunately, it doesn't have it. So that means if we're going to figure this out, we're going to need to bring up our old friend, the Asset Studio. And I'm going to need to get the location of the last spell files. Add momentum to the power shot of the short bow. So one thing I want to be mindful of, because I like that idea. One thing I want to be mindful of, though, is I don't want the short bow to just become the pistol, right? That's the one thing that I'm a little nervous about. Now let's see. So if I want to, let's see. So we want text assets. There we go. So here, let me bring this up so that everyone can see what I am doing. Do that. If I hide this, does that show up? Okay. Apologies that this particular window does not scale. But what I'm doing right now is I'm going hunting for any XML based. Okay, so we have perk definitions file here. Okay. Spiky skin. Okay, yeah. This looks... So the other thing that I was thinking for Power Shot is we don't have a V-shaped attack. But yeah, that could work. So let's see. Okay, so yeah, so all of these are in here. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna go. We have not pulled out the perk definition, unit perk template definition, skill definitions, perks. Okay, got it. Okay, so perk definitions is where the XML is that defines things. And I know this is really small and probably more difficult to see than some of the other things we've been looking at, so I apologize for that. But the one that I wanted to look for here, and let me go over to this thingamajig. Now that we've found what we were looking for, if I hide Asset Studio and show the Unity Asset Bundle Extractor, that's what this is here. So now we're going to go find perk definitions. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, P. Nailed it. Perk definitions right here. We're going to view the data on perk definitions, and then we are going to export the data to a file. And then I'm exporting it to here. Let's see. I'm not getting the... How do I copy your name easily? There we go. Grab that. Export this. This is going to be in the base. There we go. I know. There's only so much I can do. These programs don't even allow me to scale their UIs, but we'll try and do better. So let's see. Now I have the perk definitions file here. So this is a little, I know it's still not perfect, but this is a little more readable. We can, here, let's, oh God, when I scale up the UI over here, is this, what are you thinking, Lustrous? Is this still, I know you're on mobile, but at some point this gets too big for me to be able to utilize it. But the one that we wanted to find was proximity shot. Because somewhere in here is the logic. Here we go. Percent decrement. Woo. Look at this. Value equals malice tile times distance from caster minus min distance to caster decrement. Decrement, in fact. So this is telling us a thing. And that thing is that maybe we have some way to utilize this on abilities. Maybe. Like maybe we can have a value that is dependent on some type of thing. Now, how would this translate? Because we don't have these token variables. Oh yeah, we can definitely change perks for sure in Lustrous. That was always on the table. I just haven't been looking at them because I've been focusing on weapons. But 1000%. This is a little it's a little too big for me. I have too much stuff falling off the screen. I think Specialist already is total damage, right? Yeah, the stat argument for it is overall damage, isn't it? Hold on, let me find someone who has Specialist in the game. Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it is plus. Yeah, it's just, you're right. It's just plus 50% damage. Whereas if we look at Don't Panic. Oh wait, what is this? It's always fun when we find a random comment in here. Here we're using total momentum tiles crossed this turn as it contains all moves except for teleports. We don't want teleport effect to affect head-on, whereas we want teleport. Okay, so this is the change that they made to how momentum and no momentum work. Remove boom and give it to every one. I love this idea. Let's see. Okay, so there we go. Don't panic. Here it is. So don't panic uses the overall damage bonus. Comments exist. Comments exist. So yeah, so don't panic uses the overall damage bonus, whereas the other one, which we were just looking at, specialist. Wait, it says overall damage bonus too. That's weird, actually. Because I'm not crazy, right? Don't panic. If we find someone who has that. Yeah, it's total damage. Whereas specialist is regular damage. So what is the difference between these two? Because this says overall damage bonus. I think the UI is all generated by that in Lustrous. So let's go back to specialist. Oh, hold on a second. Ha! Hilarious. There we go. Nope. So check that out. The difference is that this key is value, and this key is overall damage bonus. Hey, Marcus, welcome. Okay, so we can if we want. Let me find my window here. I'm curious about making this change too. So we will do this. So I'm going to take this, copy the perk definition, paste the perk definition here, and then I'm going to bring this back. Apologies for the window shifting. I'm going to close the perk definition, and then I'm going to do perk definition, compare selected. There we go. Close this, and then this is the base over here, and then this is the other one. So if I then go into this one, and we find specialist again, and we do this, then we go over here, and we find our diff. Did I do it right? There we go. Wait. Nope, I did it wrong. All right. The left and right members of things, there we go. That's correct. Okay, so now we have changed this to be overall bonus. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to pin this. I'm going to save it. And then let's see if we actually made the change. Let's confirm that we can modify perks. So we close that. This is our perk definition. So you're going to import file from the, not from the base, but from here. There we go. Perk definition. This is skills buildings. We'll import this one. This is ranged. This is melee. And this is a magic. All right, and then we will apply and save all. So we're saving our changes right now. And then I'm going to go here. I'm going to find shared asset 0, delete it. Come over here, go up a directory, go to assets, copy this here. There we go. Change that. Okay, let's reset and see how we did. Power shot. What about a slow effect -2 move with 1 to 3 behind the target? I do like that idea, Turok. I do like that idea a lot. One thing that I was thinking about for power shot was doing some type of shockwave behind type of effect. We can sketch it out here in a second. Let me see. We want to restart the last spell and see if our change worked. Because I agree. I think this is a great change in Lustrous, and it only causes us a slight problem. And that slight problem is that now I have to track all the changes we've made to perks in my spreadsheet. That is serious hardship. Show me specialist. Oh. Disables the second weapon set in exchange for plus 0% damage and plus 1 use on every skill. Okay, so there's more that we need to do here to make specialist work. Okay, so we probably need to change this from being value to being like that. And then I also think just to test it out, we do that. All right. So what I changed here is I said, so we don't necessarily need 2 additional uses for every skill. That might be extreme. Maybe I'll leave that at 1 for now. But the issue is that they have these localization arguments, and we didn't make that change. So we'll leave that like that. We can talk about making the other change. I wish it was faster to exit out of the game also. That would be on my wish list. Let's see. So we change the perk definition again. Let's import perk definition. Save and apply, save, replace, quit. Copy here. There we go. Try it again. No, Marcus, we're just taking a brief break. There was one recommendation in the perk space that I thought would be fun to change, but we're going to be going back very, very quickly to modding weapons. We're doing a bit of an inventory and taking stock. Okay, so let's see. There we go. And now it still says plus damage. So there's probably a localization file somewhere, but I think now it is doing total damage. But I'm a little surprised that still says damage and not total damage. So let's look at buffer modules. Oh, so we probably have to change it here too. Right hand, left hand. Yeah, we might need to get that one as well. But this is a module. I want to let's take another look at Don't Panic. And see if there's anything else that we're missing. Overall damage bonus, plus prefix style. That's localization stuff. Skill modifier. All right, so we'll do that. And then, yeah, I'll leave this change in for now, but we'll see. So we had one more place that we had missed making the changes. So it's possible that this will do it. This is obviously my first time modifying perks, and it does seem like perks have some minor additional complexity. There we go. We'll do that. Copy this here. Rename it. But yeah, the other thing, a dev console would be astoundingly good. Yeah, I mean, we'll leave the change regardless, and then I can always come back to it. Sometimes doing some of this debug stuff on the tail end of stream is easier. But yeah, so I'm still soliciting ideas for the short bow. We'll do some mapping out of that on that. But yeah, hopefully this time we get the difference in. No, it still says damage, and I think this is because there's a localization file. Yeah, we can do that later. So I'm going to create another tab over here. I'll bring back up the browser for a second, just so that we remember. So specialist, damage to total damage. There we go. I'll make this pretty later. All right. So we can also test that, although I don't really want to remove the ability to have a second weapon on anyone right now. But let's get rid of that. Actually, we're going to be working in there. So okay, so the pistol, we changed the way that the pistol works. So let's see, we can get rid of that. Ranged weapons are here. Okay, so yeah, so Grape Shot Blast is now armor piercing. That is correct. Now the longbow, I have everything listed here as changed. So let's see if that is in fact what I did. So first of all, I did indeed make the longbow 5 uses on the primary. I think that feels pretty good. I gave Watch Out plus move, but instead of it being, it's plus 2 move at the lowest level and then plus 5 move at the top. So it's plus 2 to 5 move, vary by level, right? So you're getting a lot more movement from a level 5 item. So the short bow just lacks identity, Kovacs. That's the thing that I struggle with. Like it feels like kind of a boring starter weapon that doesn't have a lot of oomph. And I want it to feel unique. Like I know some of the changes that I made to the rifle that we'll talk about in just a second are a little controversial. Is this snipe shot down here? Oh, it's rifle shot. Okay, snipe shot, yeah. So I reduced the mana cost from 2 to 1 on this. I'm gonna just so that I remember, I'm gonna do that. It is, but it's only 1 use in Lustrous. So the Scepter is 3 movement, and you can use it twice. Like if we go find Windwalk. Right, Windwalk is, let's see, is 3 bonus movement, usable twice. So a base level Scepter is still giving you more movement, but it's costing you 2 AP rather than 1. But I think Watch Out being a single use ability, it isn't too OP. And I think that like thematically, my thinking on that is just like, you either shout to someone so that they have more dodge. You're like, hey, watch out, there's an arrow coming. Yes, so we're still gonna tinker with that, Turok, once we get through with doing that. Let me put a note here. Power shot. Can we prox shot? Right? So that's the question that we're asking right now, Turok. Yeah, and the range is much higher, which I think, but like, I think the longbow needs some interesting utility, and I don't think that's like OP. Then down here, explosive arrow, aka Arctic Blast, is just maybe a little strong at the moment. The 2.0 damage modifier might be very, very excessive. I don't know what else has like a 2.0 damage modifier, except for like maybe like Death Ray. Where's Death Ray? I want to see if it even has a 2.0. Where is Death Ray? There it is. Death Ray has a 1.5 damage modifier. So to that end, I think it's insane for this to have a 2.0. So we'll say 1.5. There we go. Let's see. Plus damage, Diamond Stay, Diamond Shot, no stun. Maybe a rename down the line, but that's, I haven't figured out how to rename things. Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna do some play testing, and it may feel too strong, but I think right now it feels too strong. I kind of tweaked this around early game. I wanted when you use it for it to kill everybody that it hits, essentially, kind of like Rain of Arrows is now. But we should actually compare. Rain of Arrows was a 1.65. Or is a 1.65. So yeah, so 1.5 feels a lot better than 2.0. So okay, so then we have crossbow. I do want to find something to do with crossbow. I don't think, when we talk about doing something with something, we're not talking about it, but like, I think maybe, actually, hold on. Okay, so I think this was, that was successful. So I think Impaling Bolt, I want to take advantage of secondary tiles. Heavy Bolt moves you back to and use it. I love that idea, Turok. I don't think the game currently supports that. Secondary effect to the holes and rain of arrows, some debuff type. That's an interesting idea, Marcus. I'm worried. One thing I'm worried about is that Rain of Arrows and Arctic Blast are now very, very similar. Ignore armor on the base attack. That makes it and hand crossbow kind of like the same animal, which I'm a little concerned about. I love the idea of moving, but we'd have to figure out how we do that. Right now, I don't know that we can. Oh, actually, maybe we can. Actually, I bet we can, because I bet it's a lot like how we do other movement abilities. Hold on. So let's go look at, man, so many good ideas. Let's go look at the one-handed sword, which is right here. And let's look at slash. So slash uses this M tile. Yeah. Ooh, this is such a good idea. Yeah, Turok, I'm really excited about this idea. This is move back 1. Move back 2? So I want to be mindful of the fact that if we do move back 2, yeah, we could do more with move type things. And do we want this here? So okay, so I love this idea of having like, we don't have any movement abilities, but I'm wondering, so this is okay, to note here, this is like spear. So as a reminder, the spear now does more damage at the tip than it does on the other ones, and I kind of want Impaling Bolt to have that same dynamic. But this idea of having an attack that moves back, I think this is what we do with the short bow. I think we make the short bow kind of like the sword of ranged weapons, right? So like the pistol is all about grappling shot and like follow attacks and things like that. But what if the short bow had like a disengaging shot type of thing? What would that could be really interesting. So one thing I've been thinking about, and you know, so we could maybe do like a snare here, right? And then maybe Rain of Arrows goes away for like a disengage. Hey, Zakar, right? So some type of ability that you can do that allows you to like move backwards, which is something that doesn't exist right now in the game, I don't think. So I think it's really interesting. We'll throw around something like that as an idea. But anyway, so I want to do something with an Impaling Bolt. I really like the idea of pushback. Oh, this is a whole new world. Let's see, where are my ranged weapons? Let's finish up the audit here. So rifle shot, right now it's 1 AP and 3 movement cost. Disengage, leap over. High cost, long range attack. I think high cost and long range are more the domain of the longbow conceptually. One of the things that I want to do here before we get too far into the stream is I want to go through and I want to write like a 1 sentence. What is each of these weapons? What's their identity, and how is each of the abilities kind of fitting into it as we're kind of like starting to get to more of like a design space. So let's see. So then hip shot regens a movement. Good. And then assassinate, I just made longer range. So assassinate went from a 12 range to being the longest range in the game. Yeah, it might not end up being called disengage in the end, but what I'm thinking is something like Like, it would be really interesting if launch yourself with a bow rather than launching it. Yeah, I mean, something like that. Like a movement skill could be, I think we want some type of movement here with the short bow. Give it a little bit of mobility, make that part of its identity. The rifle I really like, Zakar, and I know it's a little hard to kind of like talk about, but like the thing that's cool about the rifle from my perspective is that its new cost becomes movement. Like the limiting factor on it is movement. So I really like that. But anyways, we'll come back to it. I think it is controversial. Some people really like it, as is. Okay, so then going back here to the magic weapons. At the moment, we haven't done anything with wand, which I think is probably okay. I really like the contagion and X pattern for putrid ball. I think this is a very cool one. And then the death ray has become a weird spiral with secondary tiles. It's hard to explain what that one looks like, but it looks like this. Then acid spray, we added block to. Okay, so first we go to fire thrower, which I'm now referring to as like fire vortex. And all we've really done here is slightly changed it to be round rather than being a expanding thing. So rather than being grape shot blast shaped, it's changed. Just replace ring.